MV Midway Kalayaan is currently discharging 30,000 metric tons of coal in Algeciras, Gibraltar. At the moment also, they receive voyage instructions from the charterer to proceed to Port of Singapore for loading after the completion of discharging operation. Second Mate Villatema was tasked to appraise all relevant information and requirements that the vessel will use to safely proceed on loading port.
Good day, everyone. I am Second Mate Jan Lester Villatema, extending my warm greetings to you all. Today, I will present a comprehensive review to the pertinent information and requirements that pertains to our vessel. I invite you to join me in an enlightening discourse on the topic about passage planning. Passage planning as an essential process entails crafting a thorough plan that encompasses the entire voyage from one berth to another, while also adapting to the practice management protocols of the bridge. Such a plan ought to be meticulously detailed and easily comprehensible to the parties involved. The process of passage planning is comprised of four distinct stages, namely the appraisal, planning, execution, and monitoring. The focus of this presentation, however, shall exclusively be on the initial stage, known as the appraisal. This crucial stage involves the gathering of all pertinent information pertaining to the intended passage, including the identification of potential risks and assessment of critical areas to be navigated. This comprehensive gathering of information encompasses reference extracted from various publications, as well as integral data found within the navigational charts. To facilitate our discussion, let us consider our present location, the Algeciras, Gibraltar, and our intended destination, the Port of Singapore. The appraisal stage involves not only determining our next destination, but also procuring the necessary information and tools required to identify the safest, most optimal, and cost-effective route for our journey. In this pursuit, we shall require access to several key publications. This includes Admiralty Sailing Directions, Admiralty Digital Radio Signals, Admiralty Digital List of Lights and Fog Signals, and Admiralty Tide Tables. Additionally, we must also prepare relevant resources such as ship routing, Mariner's Handbook, Notice to Mariners, and Ocean Passage of the World. The utilization of this publication is crucial in ensuring a well-informed and prepared voyage. The multitude of publication required before embarking on our sea voyage may seem overwhelming. However, as previously mentioned earlier, the appraisal stage mandates the gathering of all pertinent information related to the intended passage, including the identification of risks and critical areas to be navigated. This prompts the questions: why do we need such substantial numbers of publications? Allow me to elucidate the significance of preparing Admiralty Sailing Directions. These sailing directions, often referred to as ASD, it provides indispensable information to support port entry and the coastal navigations at sea. Given the vast expanse of the world's ocean, it is impractical for a single publication to contain all requisite information pertaining to navigation across the globe. Hence, official global navigation coverage is split it into 76 volumes. Each volumes of sailing directions encompasses navigational hazards, voyage regulations, port facilities, weather information, all of which serves to enhance situational awareness on board vessels. Moreover, it is worth noting that Admiralty Sailing Directions often cross-reference other publications. For instance, in situations where emergency pilotage or specific zone times are required, the ASD can guide users towards additional publications such as ADRS Volume 6 and Volume 2. Meaning to say, ASD offers guidance and suggestions regarding a specific publication that users may employ to gain further insights into their specific queries. If we consider our voyage from Gibraltar to Singapore, we would require specific volumes of Admiralty sailing directions that are tailored to the regions encompassing our intended path. This volume includes Nautical Publication 45, Mediterranean Pilot Volume 1, Nautical Publication 49, Mediterranean Pilot Volume 5, Nautical Publication 64, Red Sea and Gulf of Aden Pilot, Nautical Publication 38, West Coast of India Pilot, Nautical Publication 21, Bay of Bengal Pilot, Nautical Publication 44, Malacca Strait and West Coast of Sumatra Pilot. Now let us delve into the significance of Admiralty digital radio signals, abbreviated as ADRS. This publication is segregated into various volumes, namely ADRS Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and Volume 5, and also Volume 6. Each volume provides distinct information vital to our voyage. Firstly, Admiralty Digital Radio Signal Volume 1, Nautical Publication 281, which encompasses essential data on maritime radio station, global maritime communications, satellite communication services, Coast Guard communications, Maritime Telemedical Assistance Service or TMAS, Radio Quarantine and Pollution Report. By referring to this volume, we can minimize the likelihood of encountering unexpected circumstances, such as pirate attacks, and thereby facilitate a safer voyage. Next is, let us explore Admiralty Digital Radio Signal Volume 2, Nautical Publication 282. This volume delves into topics such as radio aids to navigation, differential GPS, legal time, radio time signal, and electronic position fixing systems. Of particular importance in this volume is the time zone system, as it highlights the vast differences in local time of various ports. By aligning our vessel timekeeping with the local at the Singapore, for instance, we can ensure timely arrival according to the designated schedule. As we can see to the standard time zone chart of the world, the area of Gibraltar appears 0 local time, whereas in Singapore shows positive 7 local time. Meaning to say, Singapore is 7 hours ahead to Gibraltar. Therefore, if the current time at Gibraltar is 12 a.m., we should add 7 more hours to align our time to Singapore. Moving forward to Admiralty Digital Radio Signal Volume 3, Nautical Publication 283, specifically focusing on its coverage of maritime safety information services. When crafting a passage plan, it is essential to prioritize the consideration of weather conditions and navigational warnings. Fortunately, with the utilization of ADRS Volume 3, we gain access to wealth of information pertaining to maritime weather services, radio weather and navigational warnings, as well as NAVTEX and EGC services, accompanied by comprehensive broadcast information. As we embark on our hypothetical journey from Gibraltar to Singapore, we shall make strategic use of NAVTEX stations provided in ADRS Volume 3. Specifically, we will rely on stations X4, X5, and X6, each distinguished by unique color assignments and denoting their respective identities. Under X4, denoted by the color pink, we have Burj Al Kifan. Violet signifies Calibia, and orange represents Kirkaira. Transitioning to the X5, characterized by the color gray, we encounter Heraklion, followed by pink, symbolizing Alexandria. Lastly, within X6, we encounter colors violet, Alquasir, mint green, muscat, blue, Keating Point, brown, Penang, and red, Singapore. This station shall be instrumental in facilitating our voyage and ensuring our adherence to necessary safety protocols. Let us now turn our attention to the Admiralty Digital Radio Signal Volume 4, which encompasses a comprehensive list of meteorological observation stations across the globe. This invaluable resource allows us to access detailed meteorological information for each location that we transit. Moving on to the Admiralty Digital Radio Signal Volume 5, we encounter the Global Maritime Distress and Safety System, or the GMDSS, a vital tool for ensuring the safety of every ship. It is vital that we procure this volume, especially when it comes to emergency operations. Volume 5 further provides information regarding the Inmarsat Sea satellites and ocean region. During our voyage to Singapore, it will be essential to have access to Admiralty Digital Radio Signal Volume 5 so that we can locate the Inmarsat and nav area. Specifically, we will require Inmarsat 4F4 and Inmarsat 4F1 within the Indian Ocean region IOR and Pacific Ocean region POR. Moreover, the use of ADRS Volume 5 will enable us to identify the relevant nav area of the vessel, including the nav area 3, Spain, nav area 9, Pakistan, nav area 8, India, and nav area 11, the Japan. Lastly, we must not overlook the significance of Admiralty Digital Radio Signals Volume 6. This volume furnishes us with crucial information pertaining to pilot service, vessel traffic services, and port operations. These particular volumes proves highly effective, especially as we approach ports or navigate narrow channels that necessitate pilot services. It imparts knowledge on how to establish communication and interact with VTS, pilot reporting, pilot boarding instructions, mandatory VHF communication channels, and various other relevant aspects to port approaches and VTS. As displayed on the screen, I will rely on ADRS Volume 6 to ascertain the pilot boarding position for the departure and arrival ports of Gibraltar and Singapore, as well as the requisite VHF channels for communicating with VTS. It appears that the pilot boarding position of Gibraltar is 36 degree 06 minutes north, 005 degree 22 minutes west. For VHF channel, we must communicate to channels 16 and channel 12, and the reporting area is Lloyd Sign Station. For Singapore, the pilot boarding position is 1 degree 13 minutes 51.7 seconds north, 103 degree 53 minutes 44.7 seconds east. The VHF channel we can contact are VHF channel 73, 14, and 10. And the reporting area is Singapore VTS. Before proceeding further, let us briefly touch upon the different areas as part of each ADRS that will require for our passage planning. For ADRS Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we will necessitate Area 1 and 2. While ADRS Volume 6, we will rely on Part 1, Part 3, Part 8, and Part 4. Now that we have concluded our exploration of Admiralty Digital Radio Signals, let us now transition to the topic of Admiralty List of Lights and Fog Signals. As the name suggests, it provides comprehensive information about the characteristics of lights and fog signals that we may encounter during our voyage. This vital publication not only furnishes details about various lights, including their international numbers, location or names, geographical positions, characteristics and intensities, elevations in meters, ranges in the sea miles, and description of structure, but also plays a pivotal role in navigation, enabling us to obtain crucial references. Additionally, it is important to note that specific areas of the world may exhibit different characteristics of lights and fog signals. hence necessitating our collection of different volumes of ADLL for the areas we will transit. Accordingly, the coverage of Admiralty list of lights and fog signals that we will utilize comprises Area 4, Area 5, and Area 6. Moving forward, let us now explore the next vital nautical publication we will utilize in our passage planning, the Admiralty Tide Table. The Admiralty Tide Table is an invaluable and indispensable publication that imparts pertinent information regarding the behavior of tides and tidal streams in various parts of the ocean. It assumes great significance in mitigating the risk of grounding. Through the Admiralty Tide Tables, we can determine the low tide periods and anticipate rising tides. Neglecting to account for tidal streams while sailing may lead to unfortunate encounters with low tide waters, potentially resulting grounding. Similar to other nautical publications, the Admiralty Tide Table is available in different volumes. Given that our vessel intends to load in Singapore, we shall make use of ATT Volume 4 South Pacific Ocean Nautical Publication 204, South China Sea and Indonesia Nautical Publication 205, Volume 6 North Pacific Ocean 2023 edition. Those are the nautical publications required in our voyage from Gibraltar to Singapore. Aside from that, we will also need additional publication to ensure our safe navigation. These are the Ocean Passage of the World, Ship's Routing, Mariner's Handbook, and Notices to Mariners. Now, let me concisely discuss their use and purpose because these are also important as the publication discussed earlier. The Ocean Passage of the World is comprised of two volumes. Volume 1 focuses on the Atlantic Ocean, while Volume 2 covers the Indian and Pacific Oceans. This particular publication is highly valuable as it provides a comprehensive account of various essential aspects such as weather patterns, climate conditions, prevailing winds, ocean currents, swell characteristics, seasonal influence, and ice threats across all the major oceans of the world. Familiarizing ourselves with this wealth of information will enable us to navigate the different world oceans with deeper understanding of what to expect during our sailings. Next is ship routing. The concept of ship routing encompasses a host of vital particulars, including the specification of traffic separation schemes, the identification of deep water routes, delineation of areas to be avoided, and the implementation of various routing measures. By making use of this publication, we can effectively manage the orderly flow of maritime traffic, particularly with narrow channels, while simultaneously preventing the occurrence of grounding and upholding the preservation of marine ecosystems. This exemplary illustration presents ship routing case study in the region of Singapore. Always remember that no voyage can be considered complete without having Mariner's Handbook at our disposal. This indispensable resource provides a wealth of knowledge covering a diverse range of topics, including the effective use of nautical chart, the communication of essential navigational information, an understanding of maritime environment, navigational restrictions, and the crucial aspects of maritime pollution prevention and conservation. Comparatively, this publication serves as a comprehensive compendium akin to a dictionary or encyclopedia, offering mariners comprehensive understanding of maritime terminology. Notably, the Nautical Publication 100 offers precise guidance to mariners, enhancing their knowledge of maritime navigation, sea and ice conditions, meteorological influences, and regulatory frameworks. Lastly, we must also emphasize the great importance of notices to mariners. This vital publication serves as the conduit for disseminating changes, revisions, corrections related to nautical charts and other relevant publications. Regular updates are of utmost importance to ensure the continued reliability and safety of our charts and related materials. In conclusion, these publications collectively contribute to the attainment of safest, most favorable, and economically efficient passage plans for maritime voyages. I sincerely hope that this video imparted valuable knowledge to all viewers. I am Midshipman John Lester Villatema. Thank you for watching.